Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. I want to start this week by showing off something that I bought in GameStop, which is weird. I feel like GameStop now sells like 80% stuff and like 20% games. Like there's still a lot of games, but the games are all like in the back of the store now, and all the like random merchandise is all up front. But I almost didn't buy it, and I literally walked out of the store, and then I was like, I can't not buy this. And I turned around and I went back in and I bought it, because it is an Animal Crossing puzzle. It's only 550 pieces, and it'll probably be like super duper easy to do, but I couldn't resist it. And weirdly it says only at GameStop, and I'm like, I feel like I should be able to buy this at Nintendo World, but whatever. It was also, like, on sale, so I was like, alright, fine. But, I do wonder, I'm like, I don't buy games at GameStop anymore. Like, I've gone there and bought, like, toys and a puzzle, and, like, I feel like I don't go to GameStop to buy a physical, actual game. Although, while I was there, there were people buying physical, actual games, so good for them. I wanted to start also by discussing, I will talk about a game in a minute, but first I wanted to complain. Nothing new there. The past few weeks I've noticed that my PlayStation 4 was being crazy noisy. I would put it to sleep, and it was still crazy noisy with the fan. And I'm like, why is the fan still blowing? What is going on? And I would have to actually turn it off instead of putting it into rest mode, because it was the only way to make it be quiet. Like, the fan was loud enough that you could hear it, like, while you're just trying to watch TV and stuff. Like, if the TV was loud enough, you wouldn't hear it, but, like, if you're, like, watching a movie or something and there's, like, a quiet scene, you totally hear and it's distracting and annoying, and I'm just like, what the F? And, of course, you're watching a movie, if you're watching a Blu-ray, your PlayStation is on, and it's making all this noise, and I'm just like, what the F? But what I discovered was that it was not actually, I was like, did I move it? Is it not venting properly? Like, nothing changed, but what I realized was it wasn't the PlayStation 4 that was making all that noise. It was the VR processing unit next to it that was making all that noise. Because what I realized was, when I put my PlayStation to sleep, the VR unit didn't turn off. The VR unit stayed on, the light was still white, and the fan in the processing unit was going full tilt boogie. That's what was making all the noise. Because the PlayStation doesn't make that much noise. It never did. It's the VR unit. And I'm like, what the F? And I go online, and I see some people on message boards like saying, oh, I'm having the same problem and whatever. But this was back in October. And I mean, I didn't buy mine until, like, what, like February, I think? So, and it didn't do it right away. And I don't know what changed. I know there was an update recently that allowed you to now watch 3D Blu-rays on the VR headset in 3D, which is really cool. I've actually tried a few things. I haven't tried to watch, like, an entire movie, because that seems like a bit much, but I've watched various scenes, and, like, the scene in Doctor Strange when she, like, opens up in the beginning, where she opens his mind and he, like, goes traveling through all the dimensions, and it's all, like, psychedelic, crazy imagery. The 3D is amazing, and it's all, like, wah! And if you put it on large, it's like being in an IMAX 3D theater, and you're just like, oh. So, it's really cool. But I'm wondering if something in that update screwed something up, and now the processing unit, like, won't turn off when I put my PlayStation to sleep. And somebody suggested, oh, just turn off power to the USB ports when it's asleep. And I tried that, and that did nothing. What ended up working for me was someone's suggestion that you turn off internet access while the PlayStation is asleep. Somehow, now when I put my PlayStation to sleep, the VR processing unit turns off. Finally. I don't remember it being on, like if I'm just watching a Blu-ray and I'm not actually using the VR, I'm not plugging the VR headset in and doing something with VR, I don't know why it comes on and the fan is blowing really loudly, because I'm not using the VR processor. All it's acting is as an HDMI pass-through to go from the PlayStation to the VR unit to the TV. And, like, that's super annoying. I'm just like, what the F? Like, why are you doing this? Like, it's very loud and annoying, and I feel like it shouldn't be on full tilt like that if all I'm doing is turning on my PlayStation to play No Man's Sky, or to watch a movie. Like, the VR unit shouldn't go on unless I'm actually... I mean, it can go on to be for HDMI pass-through. If it has to be on for that, then I understand, that's fine. But it shouldn't be, like, processing with the fan blowing super loud and whatever. It's weird. So, right now, annoyingly, I can put my PlayStation to sleep so that I can just restart my games right away now, which is nice. But what it means is if there's another system update, it won't download in the background conveniently. I'll have to turn on my PlayStation, and it's going to be like, hey, I have to update, it's going to take like an hour, you can't play a game right now, sorry. And that's annoying, because all I can hope for is that there is a system update coming that will fix whatever glitch happened in the last one that made my VR processing unit suddenly turn on Full Tilt Boogie and be really loud and annoying no matter what I'm doing. So yeah, that's irritating. If you've had this experience, let me know how you fixed it. Because right now it's working. I can put my PlayStation to sleep and it shuts down. The VR unit shuts down, so that's fine. I'd rather it not. I'd rather have the internet access, but that makes the VR unit stay on all the time. And it never shuts down. Like, you can wait hours and it still never shuts down. It's really irritating. In fact, it's so irritating that my husband stopped watching Blu-rays because the PS4 is our Blu-ray player, and he was like, I don't know how to shut it off, and it's really loud. Because he just ejects the disc and then pushes the power button, which doesn't turn it off, it just puts it to sleep. And it's really loud. And he's like, I don't know how to turn it off. And I'm like, oh, I have to go in the menu, and instead of selecting sleep, you press off. And he's like, it's too much. Like, he doesn't want to do that because he's afraid he'll break something in my PlayStation. Which he won't, but he's all like, it's too much. It's like dealing with your parents and technology, and they don't understand. And he doesn't want to understand, so I'm like, fine. So what I ended up doing was, because it's been so obnoxious this last week, I went and just bought a Blu-ray player. Which is fine, because I feel like our DVD player was, like, on its last legs anyway, because the tray would, like, wobble and make a noise when you'd eject things. So I feel like any day that was, like, ready to just be like, nope, not ejecting anymore. But now he has his dedicated Blu-ray player, so if he wants to watch a Blu-ray or a DVD, he can just use that, and he doesn't have to worry about the PlayStation anymore, so that's nice. And I can use that now, too, so as not to have to worry about taking out my game, like ejecting No Man's Sky and such, which is nice, because then I can just jump right back into the game. Unless I want to watch a 3D Blu-ray, because I didn't buy a 3D Blu-ray player, because that was more money, and I'm just like, there's no sense in wasting all this extra money on something I don't actually need. All I need is it to just play Blu-rays and DVDs. I don't need it to be 3D, because the PlayStation can handle that. And the few times that I want to watch a 3D Blu-ray, I can use the PlayStation. But it's funny because I bought this Blu-ray player and I showed it to him, and it's literally like as big as this puzzle box. Like, this is the size of the Blu-ray player. It's hilarious. It's so small. And it's hilarious because the DVD player we were replacing was literally like this wide. It was like twice the size. It was like, it had the slot, and then it had just all this extra space. I mean, it had display and everything. He misses the display. But I think it was because it was an old Blu-ray, it was an old DVD player, but it's also an old DVD player that upscaled, because I was noticing when we upgraded to high-def televisions that DVDs look not great. So I found this DVD player that actually upscales the picture to like giant size, so it actually shrinks it down to be on the high-def TV, and it looks a little crisper and better. Of course, now there's Blu-rays, so you can get perfect picture again, so that's nice. But I am hoping there is an update for the PlayStation 4 coming someday that will make my VR unit shut off again, because it's kind of annoying and weird. and it shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, on to the game that I promised that I was going to play. I said I was going to try a new game to talk about it, so I wouldn't be talking about Zelda again, because I have been playing Zelda and I have been playing No Man's Sky, obviously. But I did try something new. It's old, but it's new to me, because it happens to be the April free game with gold for Xbox One. And so I decided to download. It took a while. It was a massive, like, 35 gig file. But I downloaded and started playing Rise, Son of Rome. And I can totally see why this was, like, a launch title, because graphically it's, like, insane. It looks amazing. Like, everything looks great. And it's totally that kind of thing where you want that to be a launch title, because it's like, you put it in and you're just like, wow, look at how amazing the graphics are on my new system. This is so amazing. But the gameplay is not as impressive to me. It's like, I've only, to be fair, I've only played, like, the prologue intro, and then the beginning of, like, the first section, but it basically, like, there's nothing more to the game except for the combat. Like, that's it. It's just the combat. And if you've been watching this podcast, you know the games that I like. The games that I like tend to have some kind of exploration or discovery to them, and that, to me, is super fun and appealing. Like, walking from area to area killing barbarians, it's not that appealing. It gets very I mean, like I said, I've only played the intro and the beginning of the first section, and I'm already a little bit bored. I'm like, oh my god, is there anything else to do in this game? Can I, like, explore and look around and, like, find things and get, you know, there's, like, no new weapons or anything. It's like, you're not, like, upgrading things. It's just, like, you're just going through with your shield and sword and just killing barbarians. And I mean, yeah, I guess, like, sometimes your kill animations in slow motion when you're doing your, like, special kills, you're chopping off arms and legs and, you slicing throats and stuff, and that's kind of neat, but there's not that much variety in it. And I don't know how long the game actually is. I feel like it's probably not that long. I feel like people complained about that at the time, but I feel like it's already getting repetitive, and it's not going to get any better. I'm not sure I'd finish it, but, I mean, I've already earned, like, half a dozen trophies just in this little hour or so that I played it. But, I mean, it's just sort of like, you just run around and you just kill people left and kill people right. And I was like, I want to, like, explore. Like, I want some freedom. But it's very linear. It's sort of like, it's like Uncharted, where I prefer Tomb Raider. The Tomb Raider reboots. Because in the Tomb Raider reboots, it's like, you have this area to explore, and it's like, well, can I climb up there, or what's over here, and let me go over here and see what's up this way, and, it directs you through, but you can, within each area, look all over the place and find extra things, and I like to find the secrets and stuff. Because that's where you get the stuff that, like, helps you to upgrade and get better, and make your character stronger, and get better weapons, and whatever. Whereas in Uncharted, you're literally just linearly running through areas, and, occasionally there's something off to the side, a secret that you can find, but, whatever. And in Rise, Son of Rome, it feels like, it feels like Uncharted gameplay, where you're just moving through the area, and there's, like, gorgeous graphics, and here's the story, and you're just going to run around killing people as you go. But there's I haven't encountered any, it's not like Uncharted, because I haven't encountered any puzzles or anything like that, it's literally just killing. And, so, yeah. But it was free, so whatever. It's a free game with gold, and with those, like I always say, you download it, you try it, if you like it, score, it was free, and if you don't like it, delete it off your hard drive. Who cares? It was free. So, come back next week, and I'll see if I've played any more of that, or if I've maybe made more progress in Zelda, probably more likely. I'm still not ready for Ganon, because I want to look around and do lots of side questy things before I go for Ganon. Yeah, come back next week, and I'll see what I'll talk about then. Maybe I'll finish my Animal Crossing puzzle. Who knows? It'll be a surprise. Bye!